Hi guys, my name's Kayla, and I just got back from the MEPS in Kansas City, Missouri. I just swore in to be in the Army National Guard, and I searched for videos for opinion for like girls' experiences, and I only found a couple, and they were really informative. So I thought I'd make one of my own just to kind of give you guys more of a choice to pick from, because I had a really fun experience at MEPS. It was a lot of hurry and wait, like they say, but it was a really good experience. So I'm just going to start telling you about it. I went up to MEPS on Monday, which is July 23rd, 2012. I went up there. I didn't really know what to think. I rode up with my recruiter, and I had to go up early because I had to take my ASVAB and the TAPAS test. Really, the ASVAB I thought it was easy. I scored a 95. I didn't really study too much, and I didn't expect to score that high. So if you just study and you just listen to everything that they say for you to do and you just focus on the test, you should do decent on it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. It was really not that bad. The TAPAS test was kind of confusing. They just kind of make you pick between two ridiculous answers, and you just don't know what to think about it. So, but I mean, it helps the military. It helps them, figure out, like, what type of person's joining. So, all I know, it's important that you take it. So, it's also important that you pick the best answers for that as well. When I first got up there, that's what I did, is I went to MEPS and I took my ASVAB and then TAPAS. They kind of just check you in, give you this name badge that you have to wear right here on your left-hand side by your shoulder. And after I took my TAPAS and the ASVAB, I was there for about, I want to say like 2.5, 3 hours. I got done around 5 o'clock, and then my recruiter came to pick me up from the MEP station, and then that's when I went to my hotel, and that's when the fun started. I went into my hotel, and it was really nice, actually. I didn't know what to expect, though. When I got there, I had to check in. They briefed me and a couple other guys, which there was only 8 girls there out of 91 people. So there was not that many girls at all. When I got there, though, they briefed you up on, like, if this isn't working in your room, if that's not working in your room, then you need to let us know. That way we can get you in another room. The rooms were really nice. I shared a room with a girl that was joining the Air Force. We got along really well. I had dinner. The dinner was really good. They give you a meal ticket, and that's for the restaurant that's in the hotel. So it was really good food. You don't get much sleep, I'll tell you that. Like, you were kind of just like, you're anxious for the next day to start, and the next day started early. Me and my roommate woke up at 4. We had to be down in the lobby of the hotel by 4:40. So the next morning at 4:40, we get down to the lobby, and they make you line up in this huge long line, and there's 91 of us, so there's quite a few people there. And like I said, there's only 8 girls, all different branches of the military. There's a girl there from the that was joining the Marines. There's one from the Navy, 2 from the Air Force, and the other 4 were, I believe, going into the Army. So I only talked to a couple of them, though. They were all super nice. After you get done lining up, they'll take you into this room, and they set you down, really organized. Everyone has their own seat, and that's just how it works. Then you will go eat breakfast, and they can only take a certain amount of people at a time, and it's kind of just like you gotta hurry because other people need to eat as well. So you just need to show some respect and, do what you're told. Also, when you arrive in the lobby, get there early. Just get there early. Like, if it says you need to be there by 4:40, we were there by 4:30, 4:25. I mean, there was people that showed up late. It's just not the way to start out your military career. You just don't want to do it. It's disrespectful, and there should be no reason why you're late. You don't need to look cute. You don't need to look pretty. You're about to go get medical stuff done. There's no point to be late, and I can't stress that. That's probably the most thing I could stress out of any of this video that I'm making. So just don't be late. It's just not right. And it just wastes time. So After we get done eating there, we get in the room again and we have our seats. And then he takes us out and we line back up where we were when we first got down to the room. After we line up, we load up on these buses, really nice buses, and those drive us over to MEPS. When we get to MEPS, we unload. They give us all our name tags, which is like the same one that I wore for when I got my ASVAB done. And it has just your first, middle name, and last name on it. That way when you walk up to the counters all day, they're not asking you for your name, and it's right there. They can see it. It just makes it go by faster. After you got your name badge, they ask for you to go into a certain room with a group of people. That way they can brief you on what's going to happen during the day, which is all the medical stuff. They'll pretty much tell you that you just don't need to lie. You need to be honest with all your answers, and just tell you the kind of stuff that you're going to get done. The kind of stuff that you do at MEPS is you're going to get a urinalysis. You're going to get your blood drawn. You'll get a hearing and vision. You'll have an interview, like a meeting with the physician. Then you'll have your female and male checkups. That's the stuff that you do while you're doing medical at MEPS. After they put you in that room, that's when you pretty much just like start your basic stuff, like your hearing and your vision. After you get done with your hearing and your vision, normally they'll put you in another room. Some other people had already gotten their blood drawn and that kind of stuff. They put you in another classroom, and that's when you start your paperwork. Make sure you listen to the instructor and not get ahead, because there's people getting ahead, and it just made for a mess. And it made for him to get really mad. So I highly recommend don't jump ahead. It's not a good idea. When you do your paperwork, that's when you finish up on all the rest of the stuff that you haven't done yet, whether it was meeting with a physician or getting your blood drawn or whatever it may be. I met with the physician next. After I met with the physician, that's when I got my blood drawn. I did my urinalysis. The urinalysis, you do have to be in a room with another girl or two other girls, and you have to use the restroom at the same time as them. So don't say no, because you kind of have to do it. You don't have a choice. They have to watch you and make sure you're not doing anything you shouldn't be doing. After I got my urinalysis, that's when I went and waited in the room and started to get a little nervous, because that's when you get your examination by the doctor, the female examination. And you also do the exercises that they make you do. You're in a room with 4 or 5, I was with 5 other girls, and you have to get down to your underwear and your bra, and they make you do your height and weight, and then that's when they make you do the exercises, and the doctor has to watch you do them, and you're in a room with all the other girls doing them at the same time, which makes it a little bit more comfortable. You have to do the stuff like the duck walk, and I'm sure that you can find other videos on the exercises. They're really not that bad. Every girl did them. We didn't really struggle with them. The duck walk, you just kind of feel awkward. There's no way to make it pretty, so just don't worry about it. After I finished with that, they made you put on this gown, and that's when you kind of just wait for the female examination. When I got mine done, the doctor made me feel really comfortable. There was a female in there that worked at MEPS, so there's a male doctor and a female nurse. So it was a really comfortable experience. I was anxious about it and kind of a little bit nervous, but it was nothing to fret about. Afterwards, I was like, what was I nervous about? So it wasn't really that bad at all. They call it the sneak peek, which that's pretty much exactly what it is. So just don't worry about it. Don't fret about it. I mean, I'm sure you will, but I'm just telling you, you don't need to. After I got that done, I was done with all my medical. After I got done with my medical, I went out and I saw my recruiter, and I gave him my paperwork, and he told me I passed all my medical stuff, and then I had to go wait to meet to fill out the rest of my paperwork as far as like my job and just the final paperwork of signing up and joining the Army National Guard. He said there was going to be like an hour wait because there was a few people ahead of me that needed to do theirs, so I decided that would be the perfect time to go eat lunch, and that's when my friends started to show up because they were going to come watch me swear in, which is really exciting. And so I waited for a little while after I ate, and then my name finally got called, and I met in the National Guard room with saw my recruiter there, and I talked to another recruiter at the National Guard, and that's when they were asking me the drug questions, like, have you ever smoked marijuana? Have you ever done this? Have you ever done that? And you just answer honestly. After I did that, they started to, pick me out dates for when I go to basic, my RSP drills, and all that kind of stuff. I will be going to basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, October 30th, 2012, and I will be going to Fort Lee, Virginia for my AIT for a 92 Alpha. That's all the information that I found out when I was there, which I thought was exciting because that made it like more real, like you actually found out your basic date. So after I found that information out and signed some of the paperwork, that was phase 1, and you're in phase 2 now. Phase 2 is when you go and you get your fingerprints done, and they tell you that they're going to send all your paperwork to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI. And you just sign all the things that you're supposed to with your fingerprint. After that, they'll send you back up to your recruiter, and that's when you'll sign your official document saying that you're in the United States Army National Guard, United States Army, United States Air Force, whatever you're joining. And you do that with your fingerprint. After you do that, then it's just kind of a waiting game for you to swear in. I got to MEPS at, I want to say, around 6, and I was done with all my stuff at 1:30. I swore in at 2. So, I mean, it can be a long day, but it does go by fast if you're patient. So, I swore in at 2 o'clock, and I had 3 of my friends there, Danny, Katie, and Lindsay. And thank you guys for coming again. And it was I was nervous before. I was really just nervous, excited. They briefed you on the information. They showed you like how to stand and how to do all that kind of stuff, and to be a little bit more official when you get sworn in. And it was really exciting. I felt so accomplished afterwards, and it was just a really good experience altogether. I've heard some terror stories about MEPS visits, and I was really happy with mine. So I can tell you, it's really nothing to worry about. Hopefully you have a good recruiter, and they'll brief you on everything that you need to do. And